Hi there, Steve Kaufman here. Today, I just watched President Trump and President Macron of France do their press conference in Paris. And I want to talk about why we learn languages in that context. I was tremendously impressed with, first of all, President Macron, who was able to speak very comfortably in English. And then at least one, if my memory serves me correctly, French journalist who was able to ask questions in French and in English. I am sure that amongst the American journalists who were there, at least those that are resident in France, not necessarily those that came over from the US following President Trump, I am sure that there were people there who could have asked questions in French, and I wish they would have. It would have been very nice to hear them ask a question in English of President Trump and ask a question in French of President Macron. And I always get a wonderful feeling when I hear people speaking well in another language. It doesn't have to be English, it can be any other language. And I have a sense of, I would say, power, sense of achievement when I'm able to communicate in another language. It's a different level of enjoyment than when I just speak my own language. And so it's interesting, but today I had two interviews that I did for other people who have web pages or communities, and they wanted to talk to me about language learning. And one of the questions I was given was, going forward, given the technological change that has happened and that has affected language learning in the last 20 years, what do I see going forward, and do I think that language learning as such will become obsolete because people have something implanted in their ear and they can just converse in different languages? And I said, I don't think that'll happen. I think the role of teachers is changing because of the technology. We have more independent language teachers. I think learners are more independent, yet they still require the help of teachers to move them along. But and therefore all of this is making language learning easier. And therefore I think that the new role of teachers and the technology that's available is going to make people learn languages more quickly, more easily. And therefore more people will learn languages, because the joy is accessing this other world, reading, listening, speaking, sitting down over a cup of coffee with someone and conversing comfortably in another language, understanding more about them and their culture, or simply in an event like this press conference. If you're not everyone's going to be the president of France or the president of the United States, but imagine that the president of the United States there were able to answer a question in French. I mean, they have simultaneous interpreters. I just find that whole environment is so stimulating and rewarding that people will want to do that. People will want to have that sense of achievement of having learned another language, being able to use it, being able to communicate in it, and just having some technology that enables you to communicate is not going to do it. I think if you're going, as I said in my interview, if you're going to Croatia, rather than buying a phrase book, you might buy some, or you might have some app that enables you to order a beer. But, the fact that we have 4x4 all-terrain vehicles and stuff has not meant that there's less interest in hiking. In fact, we have hiking and we have mountain bikes and we have so many other ways in which people enjoy getting into the wilderness. And similarly with languages, the easier it becomes to learn languages, the more enjoyable the language learning process becomes, as people are able to use the various different apps and resources on the internet to more easily interact with foreign languages and learn these languages. More people are going to learn them. More people are going to taste the sense of achievement they get from learning another language. More people are going to taste the rewards of speaking another language. And so I think that technology is going to make language learning more popular. And we learn languages, all of us, for different reasons. But the more we get into other languages, the more we appreciate the value of having other languages. And so to the extent that technology makes all of that easier, I don't think technology is going to replace the need for learning other languages. It's only going to make it more widespread. So people won't be able to say, you have a talent for languages and I don't. In fact, all the tools are there even now, and I think more so going into the future, so that everyone can learn and enjoy the feeling of speaking in other languages. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.